Hello and welcome to the Dutchin channel. It's Friday evening, just finished as the Cheltenham Festival card. So we're on the 15th of March 2024, nearly 8 o'clock in the evening, and we're going to go through tomorrow's card at Newcastle. So starting there with the 127. This is a novices hurdle and all 8 go at the moment. So we'll go into our Excel spreadsheet. If you're not sure about Dutching or what it's all about, have a look back at some videos or just watch this one closely. It'll give you some kind of idea. So what we're going to do here, with every horse is in descending order of their ratings. So my top selection, this isn't favourite or anything else, it's what I think is going to win on the system that I devised myself. So the first selection that we will back in this race will be Young Jack. So we use Betfair in this instance. It's only for illustration purposes only. There's no other reason that I'm using this for now. And you can see already that it's 50% over round, which means that anybody with any sense, unless you know there's a horse going in tomorrow and it's one of these outsiders and you think that's going off at about 4-1, then nobody in their right mind would have a bet in this. Everything is too short. So I'm not really going to be showing you any prices in this race because it's just a waste of time with that over round. But as you can see from my first selection, that Young Jack is the favourite, and it's trading at 2.12. So already that's nearly all of our money on that one. But From the Clouds is our second selection, and it's also the second favourite, and that would be at 385. Because our stakes are £50, what it's telling us at the moment is that the over round price is 50% more than it should be. So we should, theoretically, out of £50, still have £25 to spend. So it's a case of, with that one there, yes, you may be putting, I don't know, nearly 50 on that, and you could only back one anyway, but this price and the one underneath have got chances of being a lot bigger than what they are. So you may be able to back the first 2 in that race tomorrow of Young Jack and From the Clouds. But that isn't good to look at the night before. But you can see the order that I think these horses are going to finish. So in third, I've got Benefit Ben. We're going to go now into the second race at Newcastle. And the 202, only 5 runners go to post here. This is a handicap chase. And we'll go back into my spreadsheet. And the second race there, we've gone for a horse called Iowa. So back into Betfair, we'll move to the next race at Newcastle. And, well, this is a lot better, 113. It still isn't good because we know it's about 12% over, which is about £6 on our £50 stake. But let's work this race out anyway, because Iowa is trading at 9 on the exchanges, and the stake here would be £11.11 to return £100. Our second selection would be Chase of Fortune, and that's what we're trying to do. And this is 2.16 on Betfair. So 2.16 tells us that we can only lay out £38.89 to bring us to that elusive £50 stake. So we can't lay out what was required. And then I go into my calculator, and 2.16 times £38.89 would return us £84. So £84 return on this, and Iowa would return £100. So what Dutching means is that you have more than one horse where possible in a race. And also using an exchange bookmaker, unlike the high street, there isn't a charge for anything in the high street. Whatever price returns at, you get the straight money. But the exchanges, because the prices normally are a lot higher, the way they make their money is by charging a percentage. So Betfair, Matchbook, or Smarkets will charge up to 5%. Some bookmakers can be less than that, but you need to shop around. So if Iowa was to win and returned us 100, we take off our £50 stake, and it leaves us with a £50 profit, and that 5% will come off of the £50 profit, not the stake. So that £50 would lose you £2.50. And it's like if this one was to have won here and got you 84 back, £34 would be the profit, and you would take £1.70 off for the bookmaker. So that gives you an idea on the two selections that we've given in that race. Now we're going to move on to the third race at Newcastle. This is the 237, 6 goat to post here. So we'll go back into the spreadsheet, and we'll see that our top selection is Sal Sada. And once again, into Betfair, and scroll down and click on 237 Newcastle, and we'll see that Sal Sada is 10s, but again we got a 25% too much on the over round here, so there would be no bets in the evening, and that £10 would require a £10 stake to return £100. Our second selection would be Brentford Hope. Now this is 2.2 and a maximum stake of £45.45, but you can see we've laid out 10 already, so £40 would bring that up to our maximum £50 stake. But because the over round is around 25% over at the moment, 25% of £50 would be £12.50. So the chances are that you would be able to back Brentford Hope and possibly Horncape. But that just gives you an idea of tonight and my selections. Now we're going to move on to the next race there, the fourth, which is the 312, a handicap chase. Again, only 5 go to post here. It's a bit of a small card, Newcastle tomorrow. Then we'll go into the Excel spreadsheet again. There's the 5 runners. Our top selection is Houston, Texas. And Houston, Texas will go into Betfair. Click on the 312, and Houston, Texas is trading at 717. Again, this would need to be a lot lower, and maybe we'd have an extra £15 to spend. So this trades at 7, and the stake would be £14.29 to return £100. And our second selection would be Cruise Control, which at the moment is around 5 to 4, 2.28. And again, the maximum that we can have on this is £35.71 to bring that up to £100. All right, and the stake of 50. But again, like I said, I think there should be around £7.50 extra with the prices tomorrow, so the chances are you will be able to back both of these, depending on their prices, of course. So that's Houston, Texas for £100 return, and cruise control, 2.28 SP and a stake of 35.71 would still give you £81 back, and you still would make a profit. But as I say, with that extra over round, you should be able to get 100 back on both of those. So that's the 312. And now we're going to move into the 347. Just 5 go to post again. And the 347, our top selection is Heritia de Civola. So we'll go again to Betfair and click on that race, and you can see already that the favourite here is 1.75. Maybe you'll get another 18% off of that, which is about another £9. Is it 9? Is that going to be £9? 18%? Yeah, £9 extra instead of what you've got to spend at the moment. So that 1.75 would be a maximum of £50. But as I say, if you was to get the other £9, that price would most probably then come up to about 1.84 or something like that. But you can't do more than £50. All you can hope is that the price returns bigger than 175, because you've got about maybe another 20% to add on that. It could even go up to about evens. So that would be your maximum stake if it stays odds on, and only one bet in that race. Moving on to the 422, just 2 races to go at Newcastle. The 422 is the biggest field of the day there, really, with 11 runners in a handicap hurdle. And we've got Libor Lad as favourite. So Libor Lad, well, not necessarily favourite, but our top selection. So once again, into Betfair, click on the 422, and Libor Lad at the moment is showing 4.3. And again, the over round is poor. So I expect there to be about another £20 in the pot for this race. So 4.3 would would have a stake of £23.26 and return £100. And the second favourite here is Kaylin Derg. And Kaylin Derg just happens to be second favourite at 5.6. And you would need £17.86 to return £100. And your third selection, Heard That, which again is about 6 there, and third favourite. And all we would have left to put on this one would be £8.89 to return £100. But I think there should be at least another £20 in the pot there, so you would be able to finish Heard That, maybe Paddy O'Mara, and even Cool Jack with that extra £20. So again, this is only for information, that these are not bets I would ever strike at this time the night before. And into the last race at Newcastle, this is the 457, a National Hunt flat race. You can see that we've already got 3 horses in this that are unraced. So when I click on our last race, that means that we don't bet in it. I don't bet in any races unless the horses have run under rules in their last 3 races. So that will be a no bet in the last race. I haven't even worked it out because I've no intentions of doing anything in that. So we'll go back to the first race at Newcastle. We'll just recap quickly. There's not a lot to recap here because of the prices. But my first selection is Young Jack, and then From the Clouds and Benefit Ben. In race 2, the 202, we've got Iowa and Chase of Fortune. The 237, we've got Salsada, Brentford Hope. You may be able to get Horn Cape, even ones I haven't put here. I don't fancy them because it's only the amount of stakes that's stopping me from doing it and the bad over round at Newcastle. And the 312, we've got Houston, Texas, and Cruise Control. The 347, we've got Heritia de Civola. That will be the only selection if it is odds on tomorrow. And the last race we're going to bet in is the 422, Live or Lad, Kalinberg, Heard That. The first 3 in the betting, but you do have another £20 to lay out, roughly. And you may be able to go down to Paddy O'Mara and maybe Call Me Jack, but you'll be seeing that tomorrow and see how that goes. But that's the Newcastle card. Sorry, I can't show you some better prices, but that's all I can do. So that is the last race we'll be betting in tomorrow, because the last race there, as I've showed you, is going to be a no betting race. So thanks for watching.